Hi guys, I'm back to another GGF video. Now today I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm just going to go over some of the hardware we're using in an upcoming build. So if you haven't heard, Thermaltake has invited us to represent their booth at CES 2017. There's a few others representing their booth, but they've hit us up to come along, join their booth and do a build for them. Now, of course, you've probably seen the build is the Tower 900. Now, this was originally designed and created by Matthew from Watermod in one of the Thermaltake invitationals. I think it was round 2. Now, Thermaltake have teamed up with them and they've now made it into a production case, which is really, really sweet. This is the case here. I've started to do some work on it. I've started painting it silver. I've added some fancy sort of effects on it. I'm not going to go out too crazy. I'm not going to change the whole case. When I'm representing to do a build in a case where the company wants to showcase the case off, I'm not going to hack it all up and completely change the form, because this is a really nice case. It's really nice for showing off gear. So I'm not going to do too much with the case. I'm just going to make the hardware look nice inside and show you how well this case can show off your gear. So what I want to do in this video is sort of do a shout out to all the sponsors and go through all the hardware we're using in this build. Now, this is a pretty sort of far out insane build. There's a couple of video cards, a lot of high-end gear. So I'll just jump in and get started. First off, with the cables, I've gone with, or Mod Guru has sponsored a heap of their sleeve cables. Now, these are the blue and silver ones. If you haven't heard of Mod Guru, he's been around for probably 2 or 3 years now. Just a young fella. I think he's over in Norway, somewhere like that, but he does really nice quality cables. So you can see straight away with the theme for this build, it's going to be sort of silver and blue. Also, hence why we've got the X99, the titanium motherboard from MSI. So it'll be silver, blue. So I've kept sort of some of the case black, but I've gone with silver around sort of the sides and that as well, and a bit of silver inside. So yeah, so that's the cables there, get them out of the way. Water cooling gear is of course going to be Thermaltake. They sponsored a heap of gear, so we've got a few 480 rads. I'm not sure if I'll do 2 loops yet. I do have 2 separate pumps and resers, but whether I'll keep them as 1 or 2, I'll probably just do 1 loop white and then 1 loop blue to match this blue here. So yeah, all Thermaltake water cooling. MSI have sponsored the X99A X-Power Gaming. As you can see there, we've done an unboxing on this already. Really nice board. We've had this on our test bench already. It's probably one of the best X99 boards out there when it comes to, I think, comes to looks and definitely features. Just move all this stuff out of the way. All right, moving on to some of the other main hardware. If you've recently followed our channel, Zotac has supplied us with 2 Arctic Storm 1080, so these are relatively new for them. Zotac have been doing Arctic Storm for a few generations now. Very, very nice cards, very, very powerful, and they have this really, really nice backplate, and they of course come with a full custom block. So we've actually thrown 2 of these in our test bench. We had a 6850K running at 4.5 gig, and I nearly got 30,000 in Firestrike standard, and I think I was at nearly 14,000 for TimeSpy. Now that's pretty insane for 2 video cards to get those scores. Intel Australia have supplied a Intel 6850K, which is sweet. That'll go in this build really nicely. So shout out to those guys for supplying that CPU. Another company is Apacer. I've been working with Apacer sort of probably the last year or so now on various videos and builds. They've thrown in 4 SSDs. They've thrown in 2 of their silver, so these ones match perfectly, they're all silver. 2 of their original Armor Apacer SSDs. I'm not even sure what size these ones are. It doesn't even, 120 gig. So these are the original Armor 120 gigs, and now I've got their new Armor Pluses. These ones are quite new. They didn't even come in any packaging. They just came bubble wrapped. These are their Armor Pluses, and these ones are 250 gig. So those ones are there. So they'll complement the build nicely. So shout out to Apacer for those. They've also just recently, they had an M.2. Now this is not just a standard M.2, this is your NVMe M.2. So this runs at I think 2,500 megabytes read and 1,000 writes. That's pretty sweet. That's a 240 there, and they're just the boxes for the standard Armor ones. Moving on to the fans we got the TT Premium. So these are the USB controlled fans. We've got 3 sets of 3 because I think we need 4, 8, 9, 10. I think we need 10 or so fans. So we need quite a few sets of those. Moving on to also on our channel, we've sort of showcased that Zotac have released high bandwidth SLI bridges. So we've got a one slot to go with the two video cards they're supplying. Now G.skill, this is new for us. We haven't really worked with G.skill before. Really happy with the sort of cooperation we've been doing with them. Just sort of spoke to them about a potential build coming up, sort of the outline, sort of the exposure channels, and with like no hesitation, they sent out 64 gig of the Trident Z. Now this runs at, I think this is 3200 megahertz. Yeah, 3200 megahertz. Now that's insane. So thanks to G.skill for sending out that amount of RAM for that build. So, and once again, the only thing I had specific with the RAM was I just wanted the silver, sort of silver or white to go with this board. And you can see, I've actually thrown up a photo of this on Facebook a while ago. You can see how well the silver and white complements the MSI motherboard. All right, now I think that one last thing, so they've gone through the cooling, all of that. One last thing is the power supply, and of course Thermaltake sent their big boy 1250 watt. I think they have one more above this, and that's a 1500 watt RGB. Unfortunately, you're not going to see the RGB fan in this because the power supply sits, if you haven't really seen this case, I should probably do a video just on this case because I've had quite a few messages on sort of just doing a bare bones overview of this case empty, because a lot of people are sort of interested on what goes in on the back, because the back is really nice because you can just see I've got the fans here, I've got a 480 on this side and I've got a 480 on the other side, but you don't have to have radiators. You can put a stack of hard drives all the way down. You can just put fans, you can put whatever you like. So the power supply goes in the bottom there, which is nice. And you've got a lot of room to work with inside. And once again, of course, I've already mounted one of my little screens dead set in the, I'm gonna call this area in the middle of the center console. It's kind of got a center console where you can put two hard drives, and then either side it's got these two compartments for like reservoirs or SSDs. So I call that the center console, and I got a screen that's smack bang in the middle, and that's what, say, I'll probably put this fan software on there so you can control the colors and what the fans do. But yeah, that's the power supply there. Really nice unit, 10-year warranty, really good. That's titanium rated as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it on all the hardware. Just want to thank all these guys for sending this out. I can't wait to sort of get over there, showcase this build off. Just hope it arrives in one piece. I'm gonna have to build a monster crate to make sure it gets there in one piece. So yeah, thanks again for all these guys. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for next time.